We are back, motherfuckers.
Welcome back.
Episode 2 of the PNAcast.
MMACast,
PNA,
not PNAcast.
MMAcast. Can you tell it's episode 2?
Getting our branding
of
together.
the PNA MMAcast.
Or Nick's just a fuck up, you know.
What's your host, Nicholas, the Great Marchwinski?
So this is how we're just going to do it. Last week, it was me bragging nonsensically.
And this guy over here.
Now it's his turn, I guess. It's fair.
I got the right to brag this week, Dalton.
Do you?
Yeah, man. Got a life goal achieved this past week or so.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you're not going to tell anybody about it? What's the...
I am telling everybody right now.
Oh, okay.
The world.
That was a little prelude.
I can't tell.
Prologue.
I can't tell everything, you know. But I had 4 yearly goals in January of this year. First one. I think it was the first one. No, that's been.
Keep sucking dick. That's fine. Whatever.
First one was to get my PMP certification. Second one was to get a new house.
Was that this year?
I don't know if that was like in the right order. Maybe the first one was to get a new house.
Yeah.
Second one to get was to get my PMP certification. Third one was to get a new job, and the fourth one was to go back into jiu-jitsu full time. So the first one was to getting a new house, buying my first ever house. Achieved that.
We are currently in it.
Achieved that in March.
April.
Second one was my PMP certification, which is a project management professional certification. It's like it's a really, really good certification to get if you're trying to get into the managing industry in any industry.
Apparently is a very difficult thing to do. It's like the bar exam, except for managers.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if I would
Not
say it's
quite
that hard.
But as far as, I mean,
it takes a long time to
you
study
can't
for.
find a harder test for management.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
So,
And I also achieved that in April as well. April 19th to be exact.
that's my birthday.
Was it? No, maybe it was April 16th because it was a Saturday. Was your birthday on the Saturday?
It wouldn't be, no.
Okay, so it's probably April 16th. And then my third goal was to get a new job. So once I got my certification, the hunt was on to get a new fucking job. Like immediately. I quit smoking. I
that was
stayed
like
sober since Memorial Day.
2-3 months ago?
Whenever
When's
Memorial
Day?
the week
I'm
before
bad at
Memorial
time.
Day.
Fuck that.
So it's been a long determined, I guess not too long. It's been a few months, right?
Yeah.
And when you're trying to look for a job, if
I think everyone knows.
Right, if you tried to get a job, especially like a mid-level job, your emotions can go in waves because you can apply to like 20 jobs one week. And like when I say 20 jobs, I'm not saying just throwing one resume at the fucking wall and hope it sticks. I'm saying like updating the resume specifically for each job, for their job description or what they want within the requirements of the potential candidate, or
Your cover letter and everything?
Update the cover letter on every single resume. I have 70 something resumes and cover letters on my phone that are all different.
Jesus.
And those are all the different jobs that I applied for
Why do you
since
save
April.
them?
Just because if there's a similar job, I can reuse it and swap a couple things opposed to just starting pretty much fresh. So it saves a little bit of time.
Okay.
And I like to have them in my files anyway, just in case if I get a call back from one of the motherfuckers, I have that resume so I know what I wrote on it so I can go back to the cover letter and things like that. So I definitely went through waves because you can go like a few weeks without getting any calls, or without getting any hits at all. And it's like, what the fuck, man? I just spent all this time, put all this effort into studying for this exam.
Good enough.
For real. Like I had that a lot. And I had like a lot of like thoughts like, should I go back to school for my master's degree? What the fuck should I do? I'm stuck in this logistics industry and I hate logistics. I'm like rethinking life. Like, oh my God, midlife crisis at 25 years old. And I had that like ups and downs of emotions quite a bit. And it's hard to like stay cool when you're going through those emotions. Like they always say, like when you're like high on like something like really good, life's really good, like enjoy it, but don't like think that you have to have that feeling, because the highs are great and the lows are just as bad. It's good to stay in like a good medium. And I was trying to, and I would always focus on like working out and trying to stay in what the Rock would say is your anchor, things that you would do to like you do every day to gain your confidence, to remember who you are, stay humble and things like that. And I was still having a hard time because I was not getting like any calls, whatever. And then all of a sudden I got like 2 emails, which if you listen to a few other podcasts before we started over with the Niche podcast, I was talking about both of these jobs. One of them was a client service manager at a healthcare company, and the other one was a associate project manager role at an engineering company. And the client service, I landed an interview with both of them after a phone interview. The client service manager one was a no-go. Didn't work out. And then the associate project manager role, I was in an interview with about 4 project managers for about an hour and a half, and they were just like drilling me with questions like, why do you want to be a project manager? Why did you take the PMP certification? What would you do in this situation? Blah, blah, blah. What do you do on your spare time? And just like, what do you do at your current job? And it was like an interview for like a mid-tier job, I guess.
Makes sense.
And they told me I wouldn't hear anything for about 2 weeks. And it was about a week and a half. And I didn't hear anything. And I was looking at other jobs just to, make sure I'm not just wasting time if I didn't work out. And I seen that exact same position on like Glassdoor, LinkedIn, all that shit. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get the job. So I sent them an email just to confirm. And so that way I could like stop thinking about it and just move past it. And then a day later, they sent me an email with an offer letter saying they would love me to work there and start. And fucking... like my heart sank because I read it right before I was about to take a nap on my break at work because I was tired as shit. I work really early. And it's awesome. So I got a new job. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to I feel like that's bad practice,
Probably. I can tell you really want to though.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's a good job. As soon as you got I don't know if it was the first thing you did or what, but you texted me, bro. 3 separate messages, naturally.
You're the only one. My girlfriend was at work and everybody else was like pretty much sleeping because it was early. Fair. And I knew you would be up. And I knew you were at work. Yeah. So I knew if I spammed your phone with a bunch of text messages, you would look quicker than just one text message.
It worked.
Yeah, it did.
I was like, yeah, bro. Just send the reply. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Was not expecting that to be what you sent.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dope. So it's a associate project manager job, which is something that I want to do that I'm passionate about.
It's what you did the PMP for.
Right. And it's in a whole different industry, which is awesome. So I get to like test the waters of a different industry, see how I like it.
You think you're going to like engineering more than logistics?
I think so. 100%.
There's a lot more money in engineering, I'll tell you that much.
That's true. Good pay bump and lots of room to grow. That's what's important.
That's definitely the big thing.
Yeah. Because I've always felt like I've been getting into companies where it's like kind of hard to grow because they're either smaller or it's a union based. So it's like kind of thing.
Sometimes you do such a good job that
they like you where you are.
They don't want to move you.
Right. This one, they specifically told me they want to groom me into a full-fledged project manager.
It's like the position is made for it.
Right. So it's going to be a lot of hard work for sure. But I like hard work. I like testing myself, and I'm excited for it. So, third life goal achieved. Year goal achieved. Oh. And then now my 4th yearly goal is just to get back in jiu-jitsu, which I'm going to start. I have a 3-month temp period with this job, and I want to make sure I put my everything into these 3 months. So I think I'm going to wait until after the 3 months then to get back into jiu-jitsu full-time. Because when I go back into it, I don't want to just go back into it half-ass and start missing classes and things like that. I want to go in at least 4 days a week consistently.
I mean, that'll be like December. You're going to be cutting real tight there.
I know, but I'll still get all 4 done. Fuck it. Okay. I didn't say I had to get it all since in January, motherfucker.
No, you didn't.
I'm planning it all out, and I want to make sure I do it in a way where I'm not going to overwhelm myself.
You're not sacrificing anything.
Yeah, not sacrificing anything that's going to like hurt me, So, cool. Good job.
For your audio listeners, that was him clapping.
Fucking dick. So this is the MMACast of the PNA brand.
Don't say PNAcast.
Of the PNA brand.
Passive and aggressive. We should say like the name. I'm pretty sure that's also good practice.
We have a website as well, pnacast.com if y'all don't know.
There you go.
And a little plug for ourselves.
We always save the plugs for the end, which no one ever listens to. Fuck you guys, fake fans.
So, let's just jump into the MMA shit.
That's what I'm all here for.
UFC and ESPN 5 just happened.
It did.
On Saturday.
I didn't get to watch it myself, but I heard many a traumatic story.
I was texting him, giving him little highlights. I was at a bar for my sister's boyfriend's 21st birthday, which I got to watch this fight without any commentary, which I thought was nice. Because, sometimes when you listen to commentary, you can get biases and you can kind of just
start leaning towards what they're saying.
Right. I have no idea what they even said at all because I didn't rewatch the fights or nothing. I rewatched.
It's all your opinion. So
just like the highlights of it. So the fight card wasn't too stacked, so I was just going to talk about the co-main event and the main event.
Sure.
The co-main event was just a battle of 2 UFC veterans. Fucking for real veterans. They both have like 30 fights.
Way back.
Yeah, so Jim Miller versus Clay Guida. And the fight was pretty much everything that everyone expected in a very small package. It only lasted 59 seconds. I don't know
what do you expect?
So, they both go after each other. Clay rocks Jim with an overright, and then it stuns Jim. And then Jim, that kind of he pushes back a little bit, and he's a little hesitant. He's trying to recover. He's playing it smart.
Sure.
Clay goes after him, And then Jim lands his own overright against Clay, stuns Clay, and Clay's instinct was to just wrestle because like some people, when they get tagged, they say that they're.
There's a Nate Diaz quote there or something.
What?
Everyone becomes a wrestler when they get punched in the face.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, his is, you're a wrestler now.
Okay, a little more sass added on.
And, well, it's pretty much you go to your roots when you're tagged. Like, whatever you are most comfortable with.
It's like fight or flight. It's fight or wrestle.
So, Clay immediately shot for a takedown, and Jim Miller's a really, really good jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yeah.
And he immediately pulled guard, jumped on the guillotine, and choked Clay out, which was a pretty late stoppage, I would say, with Herb Dean.
Oh, yeah. You did send that to me. You think it was late?
I think it was late.
There was another one in one of the earlier women's bouts. I don't remember which one, but he was like, he pulled, I don't know if it was Herb either, but he pulled the arm and it kind of just flopped back into place. Like, don't know if that's exactly it or not.
Again? I didn't even see that one.
Did it a couple times, yeah.
Jeez. I think all this negative heat on Herb Dean for his past few fights might be getting to his head.
I don't think so. Like, if you watch it, it's not gravity that's just pumping it back down. It's like just quickly snapping back, and he did it a couple times.
You really think he like pushed it back himself?
No, I don't think he pushed it back himself, but just the positioning of it, it kind of
okay.
went right back. It didn't like sloop down. It didn't look dead. It wasn't a dead weight.
Well, he was out.
He was out.
Say that for a fact. So when Jim let him go, he was just still in that position.
I know, yeah. He had to like hold him there.
On his knees, and he's just like completely out. So Clay's a warrior. He's not going to tap it all for sure. True. And good thing is with the guillotine, you're not going to like, if you wait a couple seconds, it's not going to like completely ruin your career like with a knee bar or arm bar or things like that. I hope you're right. I do think Herb is one of the most experienced referees in the game. Yeah. John McCarthy's not a ref anymore, so he's probably the most experienced ref in the game. If there's anybody who's not going to let the noise bother them, it would be him or Mark Goddard. I think he's a very good referee as well. He likes that. He goes in the public and explains his situations, things like that. They're both great referees. I guess I just adds to the story of the fight. That's all. Sure. So good fight, good win for Jim Miller. I think he has 2 wins in a row now, and the past like 5 of his fights have ended in the first round, which is pretty gnarly.
That's something. How old is he? Do you know?
30-something, 34, 35.
It's not too bad.
He's been fighting forever, though.
From to being like this veteran-only, classic fight. Sure, he can do.
He's 1983. So what is that? 17, 27,
math
27, 35. That's pretty close. But he had a fucking disease for the longest time. I forget what it's called. Let me see if I can find it real quick. F disease. Lyme disease. He had Lyme disease for like the past like 5-6 fights. Which hurts with your training camps, I guess. Maybe with the cardio or something. He recently just got cured of it. And now he's been performing a little bit better, which is cool. Good for him. Okay. Hopefully he can go somewhere with it. Maybe get ranked again. Yeah. That lightweight division is fucking ridiculous. So good luck. But
get too high, but yeah.
At least he'll get a couple more exciting fights. Maybe a couple fight night bonuses, before he sails off to the sunset.
Fighters want to fight.
For real. So then the main event. Colby versus Robbie. And we made our picks last week.
We did.
You picked Robbie.
I did.
I picked Colby. And I was explaining before I was doing research on the fight, I was leaning towards Robbie because I thought this was a bad matchup for Colby because of Robbie's takedown defense. It's so good. And his savageness and his relentlessness and his ability to never give up. And he's just a scary matchup for everybody in that division. Mm-hmm. Then I rewatched 2 fights, Colby versus RDA and Robbie versus RDA. I just seen how the pressure got to Robbie. And I changed my pick from Robbie to Colby because I thought Colby could do the exact same thing. And I was right.
He did quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he, first of all, let's start by saying Colby had the best walkout of the year by far. Pretty sure he's going to get walkout of the year for the whatever, I think it's the Hawani Awards or whatever.
Yeah.
Like almost positive.
The Kurt Angle walkout music.
Yes. He is. He's playing the heel as well as you can, I feel.
It's not even a heel. He's a fucking troll.
He's getting better at it.
I don't know. Some of his post-fight comments, some of the shit he said. I'm sure we'll get to it.
He goes a little bit. I'm not saying you don't cross lines.
Sure.
That's why he's a great heel. But I'm saying.
I think there's levels to the heel. He's at the bottom of the heel pool. He's troll.
I don't think he's at the bottom.
Troll level, right above pile of shit.
I would say you got I feel like Chill, in my opinion, is the best shit talker of all time. Yeah. And you got Connor. Okay. And then you got a pool of people. And I feel like Colby's in that pool of people. I'm not saying he's third best trash talker of all time, but I think he's better than Tito Ortiz, who was known for his trash talking in his prime.
Sure.
And as far as other people, I can't really think off the top of my head. Like Nate Diaz and the Diaz Bros, they're not really trash talkers. That's just them being real. Like they're not trying to.
They're not playing a role.
Right. They're not trying to sell tickets. They're just like that's just how they think.
Yeah.
And that's just who they are.
It's pretty crazy.
That attracts people and that makes them a star within itself. Just like Robbie's a star because he does the opposite and he just fights like a savage.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think Kobe is getting better at it, and I'm slowly becoming a fan. I honestly am. So he walks out to the Kurt Angle. Everybody says, "You suck." Shout out to Stone Cold because that's the only reason why that happens. And he came out there and he straight dominated Robbie from the first round all the way to the 5th round. Completely outstruck him, out-grappled him, out-pressured him, out everything.
Yeah, those takedowns.
Yeah.
Push him against cage, pushing the pace.
Mm-hmm. Robbie
had like no answer.
He landed 10 takedowns in the fight. He attempted 18 takedowns.
Jesus.
He threw the most strikes in UFC history at 510. He only landed 172 of them, but he still threw more than anybody in UFC history.
It might be more than that.
Really?
It might be 541.
It might be 541.
It beat Nico Montana. I think she has 522 or something like that.
Nico Montana had the second most?
Mm-hmm. Crazy, right?
Damn. I guess it must have been against...
It was against like a no-name, but...
No.
Not a no-name, but...
She's a sweetheart. I forget her name, though. She's
Rachel
very big in the...
something.
She's really big in the anime.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget her name.
That doesn't tell me
Anyways,
anything.
she's like very nerdy. She's very nice. Like she's been on the Ultimate Fighter and everything.
Trying to throw any shit here about her.
She's
just
a
saying,
nobody.
Fucking no. Well, she got pieced the fuck up. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, Kobe definitely. He proved that he's a fucking force in the welterweight division. I'll say that.
Yeah.
To like completely shut down Robbie like that, it's impressive. He won on the scorecards 50-45 on 2 judges' scorecards, and on one of them 50-44. So he had a 10-8 round. So I say like there was a couple positions where he was trying to get I don't know if it was just like a neck crank or a headlock from behind the back of Robbie, and he didn't look like he was in the right position to get like a pressured choke. I don't know if he was just trying to win the position and exhaust Robbie or frustrate him.
You do get points for
You definitely get
getting
points.
in that position.
I don't know if he was trying to finish the fight.
That's what he was trying to do.
If he was trying to finish the fight, I don't think he would have in those positions at
Right.
all. But I definitely could tell it frustrated the shit out of Robbie because at the end of those rounds, he got up and he stormed to his cage. Like you could tell he wanted to do something, he just couldn't. And that's when you do that to Robbie, that's like, damn, that's pretty good.
True. Yeah, no one does that.
And within the last, just the way he was, the takedowns with the ankle picks and the elevating the foot, it reminded me of Khabib. Not as dominant once he gets him to the ground, but the takedown level itself reminded me of Khabib.
Yeah, when you literally can't stop someone from taking you down, you start feeling helpless.
Mm-hmm. And that, and also on top of it, he stood with Robbie for the last like 3 rounds.
Wasn't afraid.
I feel like he exhausted Robbie to the point where he knew that his power punches weren't gonna hit him because he had higher cardio and he was there.
Mm-hmm.
If they did hit him, I'm sure they would have stunned Kobe. It wasn't like his power wasn't there anymore. It's just Kobe was comfortable enough on his feet and he was agile enough to know that he was going to be able to take Robbie down if he needed to, and he was going to stay out of danger basically and show his striking, which he has striking. So on top of that win, his post-fight comments, they weren't the best. Like I said, he's still growing, but I feel like he is getting better.
I actually wrote down what he said.
The Matt Hughes thing. Oh.
Let's talk about the lesson we learned tonight, he says. It's a strong lesson that Robbie should have learned from his good buddy Matt Hughes. You stay off the tracks when a train's coming, Junior. Whether it's the Trump train or the Colby train, get out of the way. Hoof indeed.
I'll say this. I'm not the biggest Matt Hughes fan in the world anymore.
Sure.
He used to be my favorite fighter. He's the one that got me into the UFC, but after hearing all of the domestic shit that's going on in his past, or it's continuing to going on, like his wife put a restraining order on him, and all the shit allegedly with his brother, and like it just like it's shitty. And I hope it's not because of brain trauma. I hope he's just not a shitty person either. But like it's just a sad story. So I'm not like I don't look at Matt Hughes as this legend you have to praise upon as everybody else does, because his body of work suggests it, and his horrible accident absolutely suggests that he's like America's sweetheart for the UFC. But then you got the personal shit, which for me it's like
can't quite look past it.
I can't. No, not against domestic violence.
Right.
Absolutely not. So that Kobe line there doesn't hurt me as much as it hurts everybody else. And Matt Hughes even tweeted about it, saying he understands what Kobe's doing. He's like, you don't have to fucking say bring me up, but I get it, and you got to have thick skin in this game.
Fair enough.
So if he ain't all fucking
if Matt Hughes isn't bothered by it, then no reason for us to be bothered by it. But.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's walking the line. He's absolutely walking the line.
He's doing something with that line.
He got into it with Usman on the desk afterwards.
Which that was kind of cringy as well, I feel like they both, it wasn't just Kobe. Usman definitely is not the best trash talker in the world. He gets emotional.
Usman said something like, I see you're standing here talking now, I see your balls dropped or something like that. And then Kobe, I wrote down what he said to Usman too, because this shit is just something else to me, man. He says, the only thing you're losing faster than your hairline is that Power Ranger belt. Stop faking injuries. You're out for 8 months with a hernia injury. It takes 6 weeks to recover. Stop faking injuries. You're Tyron Woodley 2.0. You get a call from the president today? That's right. You're a loser. No one gives a shit about you. Everybody came to see me. Shut your mouth and listen to the champ. Interim champ. Let's addend that.
That's fucking funny, though. I mean, at least he was, like, making sense and actually saying words.
Sure, but I feel like he had planned that at some point.
I'm sure he did. He definitely planned that. That's fucking... I think it's funny, though, just because I'm embracing the trollness in him. I don't know why. I just don't...
Because you're a troll.
I am a troll.
You're fucking...
I'm a troll at heart. I used to be, like, the biggest troll. I played Halo and shit.
Just kidding.
But I mean, Kobe, he's backing it up, and that's the thing that I respect about it, and that's what makes me like the trollness even more.
Fair, yeah.
Like in his fight camp, he allegedly took a headbutt. Like he accepted the fight on 4 weeks' notice. He took the headbutt 1 week into the fight camp. So he only had 3 weeks left before the fight started, and he like sent Ariel pictures of like the big gash on his eye. I guess the doctors recommended he didn't fight because he could like tear it open again and like lose his entire eyelash or something crazy, like he could like damage his eyebrow. He could like get permanent damage to his eyes and shit.
Sure.
That or it could just open up really easily, and if that opens up and starts bleeding, you're gonna lose on a technical, whatever, a TKO stoppage, whatever that's called, a doctor stoppage.
Yeah.
And it's just a risk. So the fact that he accepted the fight on top of that, and he put makeup on it to like hide it from the commission, it gave me a newfound respect for it. Although I did hear Woodley talk about it because when Ariel posted on Instagram, like Woodley was like the top comment. He's like, you're really about to give him like a shine for this shit. And I listened to the Aaron Hawaii podcast today, and Ariel was like, well, what's wrong with that? Because Woodley called him out on it again. He's like, it's a cop-out that if he loses, he has an excuse. If he wins, then he makes it look even better. And then he was like, I could have used it too with my Usman fight. Like, you think I wasn't injured in any of my fights? And I don't know. Like... I don't know if I agree with Woodley on that.
Are you sure? I feel like there are a lot of injuries that you
definitely agree.
Face in training camp, and you have to fight through if you want to actually reach the fight.
I completely agree with that.
Is a eyebrow cut the worst possible thing?
No, I definitely don't think it is. I don't think that's... I'm not saying that at all.
Even if he did lose, I don't think he wouldn't be saying like, yeah, but I had an eyebrow cut, so I think that's why I lost.
That's why I don't think Woodley's saying that Kobe would have said that.
Right.
I don't think Kobe would have said that personally, and also... The way Woodley was talking about his fight with Usman, it was almost like I could have, but I didn't. But I could have.
Maybe trying to reach for his own thing there.
Yeah, and I was like, but I don't know. I really like Woodley. So
I see two sides of that. He is right that injuries do happen, but I don't think it's that big of a deal to affect the outcome of the fight or how people perceive it. And don't be butthurt about it.
Yeah. So he gave him props though. He said Kobe's performance was amazing.
I mean, when you work Robbie like that, how do you give anything other than props?
Right. So also another few things for Kobe's big night. He actually did have Donald Trump tweet about him before the fight, which I was shocked. I thought all that president talk shit was not true at all. I honestly thought Dana got him into the office that one time, and then Trump said, "Okay, get the fuck away from me." And then Kobe's just using that as like his huge MAGA support to get all the huge right-wing supporters.
I wonder if they have like some kind of deal or something where Kobe walks out wearing the MAGA hat and all that shit.
He didn't wear the MAGA hat.
Yeah, he did.
Not walking out.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Either walking out or
maybe walking away
into the building. I think maybe.
Oh, yeah.
When he had sunglasses and shit.
Yeah, no. When he walked out to the octagon, he just had the flag like this.
Yeah.
But and out he had the tweet from Trump. He had the Trump family front row.
Which those
crazy.
Those kids are not good people. Point that out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the politics. I'm just surprised that they fucking were there in the first place. And then he got a phone call from Trump himself, which say what you will about them, like politic wise, I have no fight in that. I took my emotions out of the politics before the election happened because I got so emotionally invested into Bernie versus Trump and then Hillary versus Trump, and I was almost getting into fucking fights that people might work.
It's absolutely not worth it.
And it's asinine and it's pointless, and I realistically don't know nearly enough as I should to even have an educational argument about it.
Sure.
And everybody that I was arguing with, same exact thing. It was more emotional. Like, you're racist. I think you're racist. You're a piece of shit. And they're like, I think you're a piece of shit and you're a fucking sheep or blah, blah, blah. And then I knew they weren't racist and they knew I wasn't like a sheep but like
everyone's gotta be right.
Everyone like, yeah, exactly. They're just not healthy. So I stay clear of it.
I blame social media.
Definitely.
Someone asked the question of since the 2010s are about to be wrapped up. First of all, that's fucking crazy. Second of all, they asked what would be like the defining like feature of the 2010s. I think it is social media blowing up out of our control. We can see like our society degrading, and there's nothing we can fucking do about it.
I don't know if it's degrading. I think it's just now more than ever, you're allowed to see everything.
Which I think is awful.
Live. And
we're not prepared for that.
Everything is not awful. We definitely weren't prepared for that. Everything is awful?
I can't say everything is awful. I'm just saying most of social media is, because most of it is lies.
If you look at the news from like the 80s on, what's the number one thing? What gets the most hits? It's negativity.
That's
violence.
How it's always going to be, but now it's literally front and center.
Because it's everywhere. You can get something immediately because it's social media. Yeah. And that's what clicks. And it's not just all of a sudden the whole world is dying and shit. It's just negativity's always been there. Motherfuckers like to see the world burn, and for whatever reason, it gets clicks. It's shitty. I don't know why. I don't get the human logic of it. I mean, personally, I think it's just people who like to see other people suffering to make their suffering seem less miserable. I don't know, like a bully mentality type of thing, or like a cop out. I don't know. But like me personally, I don't think the world's like bad. There's definitely terrible things that happen. But there's also a lot of good things that happen. They just don't get as much publicity.
I didn't say the world's bad. I said social media's bad.
Okay. Then yeah, I won't argue. I thought you were saying like the fucking like everything's bad right now. I'm like, no, not everything.
I mean, depression rates are all up. We got Russians invading the elections.
That shit probably happens all the time.
Probably.
Like, you probably have no idea. I don't know. Don't listen to me about dick about politics. You can listen to me about MMA. I know some shit. By some shit, I mean a little bit. Okay, so like it was a huge night for Kobe overall.
Yeah.
Huge night. That Usman-Kobe fight, I'm pretty sure that's like it has to be the next fight now. Everyone's excited for it.
You don't think it's Masvidal getting the shot?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so.
I think if Masvidal was going to get the shot, they would have announced it before this fight.
And they clearly orchestrated that post-fight table meeting between them.
Was there to do the commentary. They planned this shit. And Jorge's either going to have to wait or he's going to fight Leon Edwards, which I think he should fight Leon. Honestly, his past two performances, you can't knock. It's two of the best performances in welterweight these past like few years.
Yeah.
He knocked out Darren Till cold, he was completely undersized against Darren Till in Darren Till's home fucking town. And then you fucking starch Ben Askren. Askren. Yeah, Askren.
Yes,
and
Askren.
4 seconds? 5 seconds?
Should have been 2.
Yeah. So fastest knockout of all time against somebody who's 19-0, who almost everybody thought was gonna
be the next thing.
Whoop his ass.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna whoop his ass. I thought he was gonna take him down and smother him.
Still could have.
Not whoop his ass like, oh my god, he got his ass beat, but he was gonna win the fight wrestling style like Ben always does. So, but before that, he lost 2 in a row. So, I don't think you get a title shot on that when you have somebody else who is bringing all this drama and all of this publicity into his fights, and he's won 8 in a row.
True.
So,
I agree.
That's my opinion on it. So I think Masvidal should fight Leon Edwards for sure. And then I had the UFC rankings up because I wanted to look at the welterweight division. Because like, what's next?
Wonder Boy responded to the possibility of fighting Masvidal. He said he wants someone.
He already beat Masvidal.
More reputable, yeah. So there's someone more deserving to fight him.
No, I think he was saying he's someone more deserving to get the title shot.
Was he?
I think so.
That's what I read. Headline, yeah.
And then, so like Woodley isn't fighting anybody yet. Woodley said he would fight RDA or Robbie Lawler, which he said he's an OG and he only wants to fight ex-champs or the title. And I'm like,
is that it?
RDA and Robbie Lawler are the two people that have just been beat by literally Woodley's number 1, but Kobe beat fucking Robbie Lawler and RDA.
Yeah.
Usman just beat RDA.
Yeah. You'd probably beat
and
Lawler.
Fucking Leon Edwards just beat RDA. Fight one of those guys. It should be Jorge versus Leon Edwards, and then you got Kobe versus Usman. If you want to wait and fight the winner of Jorge and Leon Edwards, or that's maybe the winner of Nate and Showtime.
Mm.
That's pretty much about it. He's gonna have to wait a minute. He ain't fighting Ben Askren, that's for sure.
Yeah, Ben Askren's gonna
fighting
Damian
Maia on October 26th in Singapore. That was one of my hot takes. But
no,
thanks.
You started saying it anyway. Don't blame me.
I'm super excited for that fight, by the way.
That will be great
because that's like literally the best jiu-jitsu
practitioner
wrestling
versus jiu-jitsu.
and welterweight, and one of the best wrestler welterweight, and both of them don't have good striking. So it's literally gonna be. Like, who is a better specialist in their craft? And I am so excited to see that.
When was the last time we've seen
a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu fight?
Yeah.
It's always like wrestler versus striker.
Right.
It's like, god damn, I'm super excited for this. Like, people are saying it's going to be like the biggest snooze fest fight in UFC history. Shut the fuck up.
That's how we figure out the real fans.
This is MMA. This isn't just striking.
Yeah, go watch
Fall
boxing.
in love with jiu-jitsu. It's great.
Fall in love with it.
Okay, so... we're done with Colby. What's next for him?
See ya.
Is going to be Usman. Woodley's going to have to wait, see what else happens in that welterweight trio shit. I don't think Darren Till is fighting there anymore. I already told you what I think he should do last week. If you want to figure that out, listen to last week's episode.
That's true. It's on our website, Passive Aggressive. It's PNAcast.com.
Mm-hmm. So, another big thing, Cyborg was cut from the UFC.
See ya.
So, Dana did like a 17-minute interview when he announced that she was being cut.
Yeah.
And he basically said that Cyborg was bringing up past beef that was... out of context.
Yeah, he says that. I saw a clip. He says that was taken completely out of context, and the very next it cuts to his comment saying that she looks like a Wanderlei Silva in a skirt. I'm not,
no. But the way Dana explains it, it sounds bad because Dana is saying that it's completely cut out of context. So then he goes on to explain how him and Cyborg haven't had like the greatest relationship, and then how he's seen Cyborg at the MMA awards, and his justification is Cyborg was saying that when he says that she looks like Vanderlei, like he was saying that she looks ugly or she looks like her face looks like Vanderlei. Mm-hmm. He was saying, in Dana's defense is what Dana's saying. I'm not defending him. Mm-hmm. Dana is saying that she was built like Vanderlei.
Interesting.
Because of the steroids she took, and it changed her body permanently and it made her look like a built version, like a Vanderlei Silva. Mm-hmm. Which I guess if you're comparing that to him saying that she looks like Vanderlei, I guess that's not as bad. But it's still not like something you want to say about your employee. Granted, they weren't employees or they weren't in a business relationship at the time. And Dana did, from what I understand, he did squash that beef with her before he even signed her, the UFC.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's what he said in the interview. And he said that Cyborg is bringing all this past shit up because she does not want to fight Amanda Nunes. And he brought up a couple of fighters. I forget the names, but I should have wrote them down. But he said that before she fought Amanda the first time, there was 2 fighters that she wanted to fight first. And Dana was like, no, we don't make those fights here. Like, they were just like people who she would fight in Invicta, where she would just completely starching motherfuckers.
The goats that you'd feed to a T-Rex?
Yeah. And then Dana finally got her to fight Amanda. And then he's like, we saw what happened in 51 seconds. And we keep trying to make the rematch. She keeps saying no, whether it's for contract reasons, whether it's for whatever. And he's like, she keeps saying, I'm bullying you? Fine. I won't bully you anymore. We're not in business anymore. I'm out of the Cyborg business. I'll have my lawyers draft up shit right now saying you can go sign with anybody as soon as possible. Go to Bellator, go wherever, enjoy. Like,
that's what you want.
Right. Which I don't think that's what Cyborg wanted at all. I think maybe it wasn't even her. I think that her marketing team was trying to push this anti-bullying thing, this agenda on to Dana White, putting pressure on Dana on UFC to maybe renegotiate their contract and get paid even more. Because I think I would imagine she would want to fight Amanda Nunes. Granted, she didn't look like she was devastated by that loss. She looked like she was okay with the loss, even after she was so happy and smiling, which I respected a lot. But I didn't see her like, I can't wait to fight her. She wore the suit. She wore the Nunes versus Cyborg 2020 shirt for sure. So I'm not saying she wouldn't fight her. She was probably trying to get as much as possible, but I was on pure team Cyborg until I seen something on her Instagram, which I'll read to you guys right now if you haven't seen her Instagram. It's a video of her talking to Dana before or after her fight, and it's, if you play the clip on Instagram, I'm not going to play it, but it's subtitles of what they were talking about. And Cyborg says, "Hey guys, I know that many people saw the video of my confrontation with Dana White after UFC 240 that was posted on my official YouTube channel, Twitter account, and Instagram account. I want to let everyone know that the video was edited by my production team to make it appear as though Dana told me And listen, whenever you hear me saying stuff, I'm not saying the truth. Dana did not say that to me. And the subtitles in the video were incorrect. As you can see from the unedited video, Dana actually said, and listen, wherever you hear me saying stuff, I'm not saying negative things about you. Dana and I have had many disagreements during my career in the UFC, and I have been adamant about standing up for myself in situations where I feel my character and statements have been misrepresented and used against me. But I also take pride in being an honest person and a true professional. I take full responsibility for the actions that resulted in editing the video posted by my social media accounts. And then pretty much just blames her production team and says it won't happen again.
Right.
And that kind of like hurts her. To me, it's like, come on. Like,
I mean, yeah, there goes your whole stance.
Right. Like, you had plenty of proof that was legitimate proof that you were being bullied in the UFC. And you can make an argument for it based off of certain commentary from not necessarily John Anik, but Joe Rogan in the past and this podcast and all that. I'm the biggest Joe Rogan fan of all time, but you got to hold yourself accountable. And he even did too. He apologized about it. Mm-hmm. And you can't continue to cry wolf about past things and make fucking shit up on top of it. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I don't get the motivation. Like I said, we talked about it a little bit before the show, and maybe she really felt she was right, but she had no way of proving it to the people to make her agree that she was right, because there are like conflicting stances. People are on Dana's side. Sure. So then you like put something out there that you think will show them the kind of guy that Dana is or something like that. But if you're making shit up, and you get caught, you're never going to be trusted with that kind of thing again.
Yeah, it's definitely not it's not a good sign for her.
Not a good look.
And I say that it's probably best for both parties that they just separate for now.
Yeah.
Cyborg is a huge fucking name. It ain't like she's not going to make money elsewhere. Everybody else would love to have her.
I'm pretty sure Coker's already offered her a deal.
I'm sure, yeah. He's a great president. I've never heard one bad thing about Scott Coker. Mm. And Bellator is a really good platform now. It's not like UFC is the only place you watch fights nowadays. And Dana and her have this negative past. They both probably don't necessarily like each other. Yeah. And it's probably best that they just get rid of it so it doesn't hurt the UFC brand. It doesn't hurt Cyborg's brand anymore. They both just move on. Both people will still succeed. And
she doesn't find anything else.
Yeah. And if she wanted to, or if she didn't want to, I guess the road would never get to see that rematch. But to me, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not like something I was dying to see. Like, if I could pick any fight in the world that I want to see right now, it's still El Kukui versus Khabib. Mm. Like, fuck Cyborg Nunez. Like, sorry, but it's probably best overall for Cyborg and best for UFC.
I agree.
So, a couple other things. Hot takes.
Hot takes!
Yes. This is where I kind of just go through the latest and greatest of MMA news.
Give us a rundown.
Nothing too detailed. So, Derek Lewis is fighting Blagoy Ivanov.
Look at you pronouncing shit.
Oh, you really... I kind of went with it.
Yeah, anyways, I think it's right.
I don't know.
Could be wrong.
They're fighting in November 2nd.
Okay.
Derek, he was just on Ariel's podcast. He said that he is healthier than he's felt in a long time, and he has a passion for fighting again. He said the past 3 years, because of his injuries and UFC consistently calling him to fight after he specifically says he wants time off. Yeah. Kind of took the fun and the passion out of fighting.
I'm assuming he's not a kind of guy to say no to a fight either. So.
Right. So his last fight was in November against DC. So this is like the biggest break he's had in like 6 fights.
Yeah, full year.
So I'm happy for him. And Igor's he's no fucking slouch. He's fought a lot of really good people. He just beat fucking Aussie guy. Aussie heavyweight. He's a bigger set dude. He's a really fun, cool kid. Forget his name. God damn it. Y'all know.
Tai
Tuivasa. Yeah, he does the shoey. God damn it. Yeah. He needs to beat him. And Tai is no slouch either. Yeah. So that'll be a good fight. Initial thoughts, I'm definitely leaning towards Derek Lewis, because good luck taking Derek down if you're not DC. True. And good luck striking with him. And if he says he's going to go into this fight weighing about 250 pounds, which means he's not even going to have to cut weight. So that's a pretty fit Derek Lewis.
Jesus.
Because that motherfucker cuts a lot of weight.
On a full year of rest, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm happy for him.
Thank God.
My balls is hot.
Balls are hot.
Weidman versus Dominic Reyes announced for Fight Night 162, October 18th at the TD Garden in Boston, which is pretty cool because it's close to New York. Plus, Johnny Walker versus Corey Anderson is about to be announced for UFC 244.
Also November 2nd. Yeah.
November 2nd at MSG. Mm-hmm. No, Derek Lewis is... Oh, that is November 2nd, too, isn't it? Okay. That's the big MSG card, so they're going to have like a lot of notable fights there. So first thing, I think I'm happy for Weidman that he's moving up. He was just on Ariel's podcast as well. He said he weighs normally about 225 pounds when he wakes up, so it's not like he's going to be super undersized there.
Right.
Dominic Reyes is a really, really good test for him. He's number 5.
Is he bigger?
I'm sure he's bigger, but he doesn't have like devastating knockout power like Blachowicz has.
Right.
Like he's not gonna knock fucking Weidman's jaw off. I was talking about Rockhold, who I said I felt like his jaw was gonna be better at middle or light heavyweight.
You did say that.
He looked great initially. He just keeps his hands down and he's too arrogant. And I don't think Weidman is the exact same. I think Weidman, he has been knocked out, but he still fights competitively. And he still like all of his knockouts have been devastating knockouts after a competitive fight. It's not like he's getting outclassed.
It's like he's not unlucky, but it's definitely like a flying knee he took from Yoel.
Yeah, or a 3-round war with Jacare. It's one of the last hits clips.
Yeah, it's not like he's doing something wrong.
Right. And if he's back at light heavyweight, he said like the middleweight cut was horrible for him with Jacare. So I'm a huge Weidman fan. I would love to see Weidman get this win against Dominic. But like that and then the Johnny Walker, Corey Anderson fight.
Yeah, we were talking a bit about potential fights for him. And Anderson was one of them. They're both on 3-fight win streaks, obviously. Walker's only had the 3 fights, but...
For real. He's just been cleared to fight because of his shoulder. Or I think he's about to be announced cleared to fight, so that's why they haven't announced his fight yet.
Yeah, Anderson's beat Ilir Latifi, Glover Teixeira, and Patrick Cummins. No slouches.
No, that's a good competition. Corey Anderson is a volume striker. He wins by exhausting his opponents in decisions. Johnny Walker, from all we've seen, he's just a freak ass
people upside the head
and fucking finishes everybody in the first round. He's unbelievable confidence. Like I was talking about last week, wanted to fight Ngannou and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that fight, but that begs to ask like this question of who's fighting John in December.
They both kind of have beef with him, don't they? Corey's been
and Dominic Reyes I thought was supposed to get the shot. Like so, it's either Blachowicz or it's DC. That's the only thing I can think of. And if they're banking on DC to make that fight after he's supposed to be fighting Stipe in a couple weeks,
I don't think he takes it.
I don't think he takes. If he takes it, I feel bad. Like I'm frustrated because he's gonna take it at light heavyweight like an idiot.
Have you heard his comments on it? He has spoken quite a bit about it.
I heard that he said he was hesitant.
Not hesitant, but he says things are different. I feel like Jones is competing so many times because he has to try and regain the faith of fans, but also retake his place in the sport. And I did that. My place is secure with no question marks, no issues in regards to what I've done. It would ultimately be up to me to see what I want to do. And he says, if you had asked me these questions 3 years ago, I would have been super fired up, but he's at a different point in his life now. Maybe he's lost faith in the honor of the sport because every single time something always comes up afterwards. Something always comes up after, and he feels like the same thing would happen this time. So maybe he just doesn't do it.
I think he's okay with what happened, and he's over it, and he's content with his place in UFC history just because of his amazing record.
All his accolades
in the heavyweight division.
John wants to say he's not a champ, but he is.
He's definitely a champ. DC fought, in my opinion, stiffer competition than John Jones has fought this past couple years. He fought Gustafsson when Gustafsson was in his prime, and he had one of the hardest fights with Gus. He fought Rumble twice. John never fought Rumble.
He's not going to do that now.
He never fought Rumble.
Want to go bare knuckle?
Rumble versus John would have been a great fight. You see Thiago Santos versus John, and you see how Thiago was landing on John.
Is Rumble a kicker, though?
Yeah. Hell yeah. He throws high kicks.
I don't remember him doing that.
He fucking head kicked DC.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, DC's short.
But the threat's still there is what I'm saying.
I got you.
And if Rumble connects to John the way Thiago connects to John, that could have been a completely different outcome. Not saying it wouldn't have or would have been, but it could have been.
I agree.
So I think DC definitely earned his light heavyweight title. It's not his fault John wasn't there. It's not his fault John's being a fuck up and doing stupid shit. It's John's fault. If he wants to, the only thing he could say is, yeah, I fucked up, and during my time I fucked up, DC was the champ. I came back and I bested him. If you want to say that, fine. And then you got the allegations after it and the fucking asterisks because of John Jones.
Right.
It's all because of him. So
I wouldn't want to fight him again if I was DC.
I definitely get the competitiveness of why he would want to fight him, just because I can't imagine how bad you want to get that back. I feel happy for him, and I feel like he's a big person. Like, not literally.
He is big.
Like, he's a good person, and he's like extremely secure with himself to actually be content with not having to get that back because of how competitive he is. I respect that. DC, in my opinion, is like he's probably my favorite fighter of all time.
He's an ideal human.
Yes, he's one of the best role models in UFC. He knows his shit. He's gonna go on to be like the Michael Strahan of UFC after the fact, being like this huge football star that goes out of football and becomes a star in general.
I think you might have a skewed view of Michael Strahan, bro.
Maybe.
Not that big.
He's on the Today Show, morning show or whatever.
Who watches that?
Fucking old people.
Exactly.
I'm sure he gets paid a lot for it.
I'm sure he does, but he's not like, people don't like look at football like, yeah, you're getting up there to like Michael Strahan levels.
I guess. Maybe he's not like a legend like DC's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like
DC
DC's
will be bigger than him.
maybe he's like the Kobe.
Easy.
He might be like Kobe.
Easy there, killer.
He does the detail thing. He does. He's extremely good role model. Super smart. One of the best in his game. How you gonna? DC's easily top 3 ever.
Kobe's
not top 3 ever.
He's like top athlete in Japan or overseas and shit.
Dude, Kobe's smart shit, and he's fucking bilingual in multiple languages.
Yeah,
he's
Kobe's a worldwide phenomenon. Neither here nor there.
I think DC can get there. I really do.
I don't know.
He beats Stipe, and then if John goes to heavyweight and he fucks John up, come on.
Give him the Brock Lesnar fight. Let's see what happens.
Come on, dude. Don't even start with me. Okay, these are supposed to be hot takes. So who knows what's next for John?
Right. Could be Johnny Walker, could be Corey Anderson, could be neither of them.
They're fighting in November. John was fighting in December. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, someone's head's getting knocked off. So
so I don't.
I mean, it could be a fast fight. You don't know.
Maybe, but that's still you're setting yourself up for failure if you're doing that quick of a
1 month turnaround. Yeah.
I mean, the only person who I would be like, okay, I'm excited to see is Johnny Walker, just because I think he's a crazy motherfucker, and he'll be like, okay, I'll do that, and then he's also crazy enough to just be outlandish against John instead of hesitant like everybody else besides Thiago.
Right.
I mean, it could be Anthony Smith again. He definitely earned his keep when he fucked up Gus.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Another thing, speaking of Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez made his pro wrestling debut.
Luchador.
Yes.
Debut.
I have the video. Go ahead and play it, Dalton.
Okay. What
this is
happening?
The Triple Mania 27. What is this called? The Luchador?
Luchador, yep. Yes. They're all wearing masks and shit. Cain just did some flipping shit.
Flying Hurricanrana from Cain motherfucking Velasquez.
That's not what it's called.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure.
The Mexicans have an actual word for it. Trihe or something.
I fucking know the WWE.
Oh my god, someone's got hit with a rope.
Dude, Cain gets hit with a rope right here. Look.
Ah!
Boom!
That's his bare back too.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, but it looks like it hits the ground first. This is wrestling, you know?
Obviously. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
This looks crazy. This reminds me of the old tables, ladders, and chairs days. WWE, Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys.
That was some wild shit.
That was my favorite shit, dude.
I can't believe humans did that. Cain's wearing this bull mask.
I don't know if this is like his finishing move right there.
I don't know. I wasn't impressed by that, honestly.
Me either. But Cain won.
He showed how agile he is.
Fuck yeah, he did. I don't know. Is that him right there?
Yeah, it's him.
Having a hard time taking the mask off.
Couldn't take his mask off.
Got a couple angry people here. Digging the music, though. There he is.
That is a game fighter right there.
Fuck yeah. So
I did not know he could do a backflip like that.
Dude, I'm so happy for Cain. If this is his pro wrestling debut and he does that performance compared to like Ronda's first performance, I'm like, it's like
Ronda's performance.
Exactly.
But I mean, she's still doing it.
No, she ain't.
Oh, she's not?
She's like done, I think. Either that or she's taking a long break.
She did it for a long time.
She
though.
definitely hustled.
Like,
yeah, but this is Cain's first performance, and he's doing flying shit. Heavyweight, super athletic for a heavyweight, and how big he is. I'm happy for him. I really am.
I mean, hope he's enjoying himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like it. Looks fun.
That's the hot takes for the MMACast podcast.
Why do you want to say PNAcast so much?
Because I've said it for like a whole year, bro.
It's not even in like a proper form, I don't think.
Bro, you want me to call Cain right now? Ooh, Luchador.
Flip through the window and throw me out.
He's gonna shove that mask that took him so far to get off up your asshole. It's already sweaty and shit.
Gross.
You'll be fucking good to go.
What is the matter with you?
Don't talk shit.
I didn't. What the hell?
If you guys enjoy, are you done?
Yeah.
I guess so. Okay. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you subscribe.
That's right.
Shout out to everybody on Instagram that I've been harassing. If you actually listen to the podcast, I've been like harassing motherfuckers. Come listen over. Like, give us a little shout, you know. Rate, subscribe. Rate on Instagram. That helps a lot with the algorithms and all that shit. Check out the PNAcast.com. PNA.com. Right? Dalton, this is your part. I need you to...
I like watching you flounder. It's real fun.
It's rude, man.
PNAcast.com. We have all our episodes there. You're not at all.
I know.
All our episodes there. We got some merch. Gonna be uploading some new merch as well. So make sure you subscribe to get all the updates. And
Peace out.